Alright guys, for 3.4, your title is Dividing Mixed Numbers. Don't forget to put that on there because when I do your journal check, I'm looking for those titles. So this is a pretty typical kind of situation that you would divide fractions for. Antoine is making sushi rolls. He has 2.5 cups of rice and will use 1/4 of a cup of rice for each sushi roll. So how many sushi rolls can he make? So you're wanting to see how many groups of 1/4 make 2.5. And here, this top bar represents how much rice he has. And then they put in a bunch of 1/4 all the way across. Now remember, 1/4 means that it takes 4 parts to make one whole part. It takes 4 sections of equal size to equal one whole. So all we're doing is seeing how many groups of 1/4 there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10. So how many fourths are in 2.5? There's 10. And so he has enough rice to make 10 sushi rolls. And the way that we would solve this with division is we would first take what it is that's being split up. Okay, all the rice that he has, he's going to divide it equally. So that's 2.5, and it's going to be divided by 1/4. Okay, and remember that whenever we are dividing fractions, we do what's called keep, flip, flip. Okay, so we're going to keep the 2.5, and we're going to flip divide to multiply, and we're going to flip-flop. We're going to switch the second fraction. We put the denominator on top and the numerator on the bottom. Now here we also have to get mad at this first mixed number before we can multiply with it. Okay, so that's going to be 5 halves, and then times 4/1. Okay, I'm not going to cancel anything out before I multiply. I'm just going to multiply straight across. I could cancel out the 2 and the 4, or simplify them. But I'm going to show you what it's like when you don't. 4 times 5 is 20, and 2 times 1 is 2. This is improper, but we know that this means divide. TIBO, top in, bottom out. 20 divided by 2 is a math fact, and it equals 10. And so this is the model for that. Numbers 8 and 9 are pretty typical of what you're going to see on the STAR test, so pay attention very carefully, and I want you to draw this out. The area of a rectangular patio is 12 3/8 square meters, and the width of the patio is 2 3/4 meters. What's the length? Okay, so if you drew this picture out, okay, it says it's rectangular. The area is 12 3/8. And the width is 2 3/4. So they already did the math and found what the area is, and you're working backwards. And you have to remember the formula for area. Area equals length times width. Okay? And if you know the answer to a multiplication problem, in this case the answer is 12 3/8, and you know one of the numbers, 2 3/4, how do you find the missing number in a multiplication problem when you know the answer? You divide. You're going to divide the answer, which in this case is the area, by the factor that we know, which is the width. So it's 12 3/8 divided by 2 3/4. Okay, with both of these, we're going to have to get mad. 12 times 8 is 96. That's a math fact that we've been practicing. 96 plus 3 is 99/8. Okay? Flip that to multiplication, and then we have to get mad at this one before we flip it. So 8 plus 3 is 11/4, and now we flip it for 11ths. This is a great one to simplify before we multiply. What's a number that goes into 11 and into 99? It's 11. 11 goes into 11 one time, and it goes into 99 9 times. We also have 4 and 8. Biggest common factor, 4. 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 twice, and now we can multiply straight across. 9 times 1 is 9. 2 times 1 is 2. This is improper, so we're going to go ahead and use TBOW. Top in, bottom out. 9 divided by 2. Okay. 4 and 1/2. 4 and 1/2. Okay, so this, whoops, the length of this thing is 4 1/2. Okay. We have some problems here that we're going to work. Let's see. Okay, so this is a little fill-in-the-blank activity, and what we have to do first is get mad at these numbers. So that's going to be 16 17/4, and then it's 17/4 divided by 3/4. And then they did keep, flip, flip. Okay? And then we can cross cancel. Anytime it's the same number, you can just cross them out and put a 1, right? 17 times 1 is 17, and 1 times 3 is 3. And then we have to go ahead and simplify that by TBOW. 17 divided by 3. 3 goes into 17 5 times, which is 5 groups of 3 is 15, and we're going to have 2 leftovers, 5 2/3. Okay, let's look at number 2. Okay, the first thing we had to do was get mad. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And then get mad at this one too. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. That's 9/4. And then we did keep, flip, flip. So we keep the 3 halves. We flip the divide to multiply. And then we have to flip this one too. 4 9ths. And yay, I can see some places where we can simplify before we multiply. The 3 and the 9, they have a common factor of 3. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 9 3 times. And then look, we also have the 2 and the 4. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 4 twice. And now we just multiply straight across. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. And there's no simplifying to do.